Kiss me hard before you go. Summertime sadness. I just
Hello everyone, welcome back to our Astronet program of Odyssey Through Anatomy. Today, we are diving into the fascinating world of anatomy. I'm Hauwa'u, Basakkwace, Queen of Anatomy at Federal University Building, and we have a special guest joining us today. Welcome, Abdulmajid. Please can you know a little about you?
Thank you for having me. My name is Abdulmajid Abdulkadir, a 400 level student of Anatomy, Federal University Building, a former treasurer, two-time former treasurer of ASON, and the current senior special assistant to the president of the Student Union, Federal University Building.
Briefly tell us what anatomy is all about.
Okay, anatomy is the study of the structures of the body. I'm currently studying human anatomy, so it's concerns of all the bones, the muscles, the organs, all the tissues. So it's the study of how the body is built and how they function all together.
What's one anatomical fact that you find incredibly surprising? Something that makes you stop and think, wow, that's amazing.
At first, the reality is when I actually realized that I'm studying human body. That was when I was like shocked, like, wow, I'm studying myself, I'm studying human body. But as it keeps going, when I realized, though we are human beings, but we still have some variations. We are all like you have your female genders. There's still some differences in men's too. Like when you come to the palmaris longus, do you know that there's absence of like 14% of the population. 14% doesn't have this palmaris longus. It's a muscle, and yeah, and the shape of the heart. So other people, their heart is at the right side. So realizing all this, that there's still these variations. Even when you're trying to shoot someone at the left, you thinking that the heart is at the left, then it's actually in the right. So all these variations, that was something that I was kind of amazed.
Wow. If you could choose one anatomical structure to study in detail for the rest of your life, what will it be and why?
Wow. It's actually going to be within either the brain or the heart, but I would take the heart as it's in front of me right now, because it's a vital organ responsible for pumping the blood, providing nutrients and oxygen to the tissues and throughout the body. And it's kind of something that differentiates between a cadaver, a dead body, and someone that is alive. Because if it stops pumping that blood, that means you are dead. So I love all the movements of the heart. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Thank you.
Do you think anatomy education could be improved? And what are some things that could make the learning process easier and more engaging?
Yeah, I believe it could be improved, because this course is just it's a new course. So by bringing some kind of imaging techniques, like there's some mnemonics devices for that aids to improve all the colorful designs to make it more easier to kind of for learning for the new students that are coming in, and for students to be more curious of learning it, to engage in a group discussion, knowing what they are going for. I think if we could improve in all these aspects, I think, yeah, it will definitely improve.
Wow. There are a lot of complexities of the human body. What's the most complex part of anatomy in your opinion?
I think I would say, my opinion, well, I would say the histology part, even though the neuro is very complex, but for my opinion, I would say the histology part, because it's all so bulky, all how the cells are aligned, the tissues, using the microscopes and all stuff. It's exhausting. So from my side, I would say it's not my thing.
Okay. Okay. What's the strangest or most unexpected anatomical facts you've learned?
The fact, like I said earlier, was knowing that human beings are still different, even though we all know the gender as male and female, but even within the males, we are still different. As I said, there are so many differences that we have. When you look at so many places, like the plantaris muscle, the palmaris longus, as I said, the way the heart is shaped. There are some people that even have an accessory spleen. Spleen, yeah, they have another small spleen on it. So
Making two.
making it like a true, but it's just an accessory, it's just an addition. So it's the differences. That's the fact I have actually learned.
If you could, so if you could design a new anatomical structure, what would it be and what will it function?
Human beings are actually natural. It's not someone that kind of creates. It's like that's why it's so. You kind of love to study because it's God creation you are studying. But if I'm to say, if I'm allowed to say, I would say harmonious nerve that kind of regulates the emotions and stress. Because like the way Nigeria is just going, everyone is just in suffering like that. If you have that harmonious nerve, maybe it's what kind of regulates all this stress, emotions. But the way it is, I say it's perfect.
How do you cope with the course?
So actually, from the beginning, getting to um, getting to put myself to be very curious of learning, to engage in all these discussions, because though I'm studying anatomy, but I have to kind of engage with the medical students, the nurses, to make a group discussion because just going into a textbook, you alone, is going to be very hard. But when you are talking with someone, you are speaking with your own language, it's kind of, yeah, it's stressful, but still, you can cope with it by that.
Okay. What's your advice for current and future anatomy students?
My advice is, as I said, you have to be very curious. And, if, like, if we could have an end result, like what I mean by end result, when you look at medical doctors now, when you see a medical student, when you go to the hospital, you're expecting to see them there. The nurses, you're expecting to see them in the hospital. Pharmacologists, lab scientists, you're all expecting to see them somewhere. But if we could have something like that, because it's a new course, we'll have more engaging into it. And my advice is you have to put yourself into it. You have to be very curious of learning. You have to get to know all this with your own language. Engage with your elders that are senior to you. Because nowadays people are kind of shy to go into it. No, and actually you have to go into it. You have to put yourself into it. Though you have to have a time of resting, doing some chores and stuff, but still you have to get a good amount of time to indulge into it. And with that, I believe you'll be able to learn so much and you'll be able to go far enough.
Thank you, Abdulmajid, for taking us through your amazing journey
You're
through
welcome.
anatomy.
You're very welcome.
Your insight and advice will be invaluable for our listeners.
Thank you very much for having me.
Today, we've gained insight into the world of anatomy, learning surprising facts and tips for successful learning. Thank you all. Interested in studying anatomy or have any question regarding the field, be sure to follow us on our social media at @AsonFUDK for more fascinating discussion and interactive. Thank you all for listening. Stay curious. Until next time. Bye.